Take one.
It's my pleasure to welcome this group of relatives on this tour of my hobby, my lifetime hobby. As you know, I've been interested in plants all my life, and having the good fortune to live in California this long, where everything grows well, I have taken a deep interest in the fauna and the flora of the local area. So if you will all be kind enough to follow the guide, I will act as guide. I will take you on this tour. So we're moving along. We come into the jade plant era. As you notice, the tips of these are a little dry. That's because of lack of water.
What is this?
That is a preservation of a certain species of long-legged black-winged spiders.
I see. Well, and they only grow, I guess, on this particular type of jade plant that's a little bit suffering from lack of moisture.
Yes, and these little plants that are turning brown are they're miniature cypress trees.
Oh.
Moving right along into these little long green, lovely, original plants.
Do these have to be trimmed, or do they just grow
In profusion.
All of my minimal care. I want to stress minimal care.
Like not even removing anything that, I mean, that will just kind of decay and go
Here
into
you have a noble fir from the Christmas of '86.
I see.
Was that a good year?
It was an excellent year. That's why I preserved the tree for posterity and for probably the Christmas of '87.
Right.
I regret that I took the lights off, but as you see, most of the tinsel was left.
So still some here.
Oh yes, that's tinsel from last year.
That's your intent it was your intent.
Please don't waste the tinsel.
Oh no, it's falling back on the tree.
Is that one of the hardier species?
Oh, the noble fir,
Yes.
as the name indicates, is one of the hardiest and noblest of all firs. Please, moving along, try to keep up with the guide and stay close. Keep up with the guide and stay close.
It's all being photographed.
Looks so beautiful.
If you have questions,
Look at flower here. What is this flower?
that is an agapantha.
Is that right?
Yeah,
And
an
this?
This is an agapantha.
And this is another a
Yes.
different
It's
variety.
a different variety of the agapantha. You will find them very
You're fond of
Well,
agapanthas, yes.
this cannot be the agapantha here because it doesn't look like it. This
I know,
round
it's
thing.
a real little fooler. It really is an agapantha too. Pride and joy.
I'd like to request that the tour group try to contain their exuberance and enthusiasm so that I can get the comments of the author of all this.
Oh, I
Oh, I'm
appreciate
sorry.
that.
Okay, we will.
I do appreciate
In
that.
other words,
Get in front of the guy.
yeah, in other words, shut up.
We're not in the way.
I'm trying my earnest best to give you an educated
Well, the
tour.
price we paid for this tour, I mean, I really think
You might get a plain ordinary kitchen chair and see if you can keep them at the distance.
shouldn't.
And a whip.
Right.
I don't think you should rush us along though, because we really, invested in this.
But while the tour has sort of broken up to go to the restroom and things like that, if we could have a brief question and answer period on what we have already seen.
Yes, there's a beautiful blossom on that bush right behind Jim. See that beautiful blossom right at the bottom?
Where?
Keep it down at the bottom, right by your leg,
Right.
Jim.
Well, let me
that beautiful-
make sure
Yeah.
I've got that.
What
Okay, I have that.
do you suppose that is?
This is an agapantha from the north coast of Borneo.
That's all you
I
said.
see.
It's called a northern Borneo agapantha.
That's all.
Very rare.
That's
And
all
I'm one of the few
very
people
rare.
that will ever let it, that has ever grown in North America.
That is not to be confused with the common barnacle.
Close inspection will reveal the petals are much larger than the ordinary barnacle.
I see. All right, thank you for that. Any other questions?
Any other questions? I'll be glad to answer anything.
Is it now time for the break to the bathroom?
No, I'd prefer you stay with the group, and there will be a tree or two in the back that will accommodate your wishes. Here comes this other mouthy lady.
Well, it's just that I've waited so long.
Even greater wonders of Mr.
I-
Sheets' artistry.
I request that the crowd remain silent.
I mean, don't
We're in very close to a very touching moment when I opened the gates. Some call it Eden, some call it paradise. Other people could probably call it the wild kingdom. Welcome to the wild kingdom. Come right along.
Step right along.
You go right ahead.
I'm
Come on,
filming.
girl.
How are we going to get past that?
Well, you just have to step over or get a run at it, Ruth.
I'll help you, Aunt Ruth.
What was that?
Take a position up here. Take a position up here, and I have a few comments to make about this wall.
I think that's, yeah, that is. That's one thing.
Phenomenal.
Bananas. Look at this walk. I've never been on a walk like this.
Oh, I'm so proud they appreciate it.
Isn't that something? Look at that walk.
It's phenomenal. This lilies of the valley.
I'd like to make a
I
comment
think it's agapantha. Here we go.
with this lady in the pink dress.
Are you going? Or are you staying? No,
I'm trying to tell you about this walk.
Okay.
I have gone to great effort to hide the marks of man, making this complete natural. This at one time was a concrete walkway.
You wouldn't believe
You
it.
will note I have almost eliminated the marks of man in this particular area.
That is just fantastic.
You see the little yellow flower? You see the little yellow flower?
Oh, an agapantha.
There's a yellow flower
There's a
here.
yellow
There's a yellow flower over here.
creeping
Creeping.
agapantha.
I've heard of that, but
Covered. And you have this creeping agapantha right there.
Is,
Creeping
is
agapantha.
that the ordinary or garden variety agapantha?
Oh, by no means, no. Oh, heavens, no. This is an Afghanistan agapantha.
Afghanistani
One of the few
agapantha.
growing in the North American continent. There's a man in Jersey City's growing one, and he sent me a shoot.
A cutting?
Yeah, he
and
sent me
this
a
all
cutting.
came from this cutting.
Oh, yes, no, from Afghanistan.
Well, I know from Afghanistan.
Oh, yes, but moving right along, we come into the heavier natural growth.
Oh, the wild.
There's a very thin one right
Yeah, that's
Oh, I'm glad you brought that
We
to
need
our
to
attention.
zoom in on that one.
We almost overlooked
overlooks the best
the
one.
bushy agapantha.
The bushy agapantha.
It's on the thistle family.
Is that Agapanthus bushinus?
Thistolus.
Disalis. I thought that
Agapantha
looked familiar.
thistolus.
Yes.
Very rare.
Mhm.
Very rare. Now be careful of the wild animals. Do not disturb them.
Do you pay for the
Do not disturb the wild animals.
If you get a run in your hose, do you pay for it?
Of course.
Okay, thank you.
Moving back into the jungle area,
You go
which is
first.
we call the natural area.
I wouldn't go first.
Oh, my.
Everything you see here growing has been
I
planned.
think we need someone to look for the rabbit.
It is planned with the
I'll hold your
idea.
hand.
No, I'm just
She's not going.
Ruth
It's planned with the idea to achieve naturalness
And balance?
and balance. Of course, balance. Coming right along.
Cut your way through. Very cut your way through. Have you had time?
I will give the cameraman now time to just pan the whole
I'm trying to
thing.
beat my way through here.
Would someone pass him the machete?
A little bit.
He needs the
Where's
machete.
the machete? Did you send in the map?
Please, the cameraman.
All right, I think
There he comes. There he comes.
I made it. Have you had time to really to spend all this
I have devoted my life to this, and I'm glad you appreciate it.
sacrificing everything else, I'm sure.
I had a crop failure here
Oh.
with a tomato agapantha. Did not grow well this year.
Well,
Must have
too
been
bad-
the
it was
soil.
yeah, well, a little wet too, I think.
Then we go back into here,
Don't fall down.
and if any will return, I know a secret way out of all this.
Hope we don't have a bush fire.
Oh, he did. He disappeared.
He disappeared.
Into the
I
wild.
told you, didn't I? That's a joke I always pull on you.
Oh, I see that.
My little joke. We people who grow are not without
We're
humor.
going to go back with agapanthus.
Not without humor.
The way we look through.
Oh, one of the workers must have left this in the past. Embarrassing, but help is hard to find these days.
Betty's sneaking out with the seeds from your plants on her dress.
Oh, I'd prefer she leave that alone.
Look at there.
I think that's
Taking
something.
seeds away.
Don't fall over it, Herbert.
There you go.
Well, you notice this angular, triangular shaped garden here.
Would you mind pointing one of those out? Oh, I
You
see.
see how these fences are grew together
Ah,
out here? We call
yes.
this the point of no return.
The point of, I knew that was
No, right
about
there.
what it had to be.
Purple leaf agapantha.
Purple leaf agapantha. I'm
What
scanning
place
up,
is it?
and then I will scan down.
Oh,
I
do
don't want
not
to miss a
fondle the
thing.
animals. Lady, never fondle the animals.
What
Are
have
you
you there?
hurt? Did she hurt you?
Bit me.
What have
Oh,
you
these
there?
people. Yeah,
I'll see
would
you
you
in
leave the
court
tour,
next
please?
week.
You've hurt
Ah,
one of my prized possessions.
there he is right there. Is
Oh,
that an
poor
asp?
thing. An asp, yes.
Common garden variety asp?
No, it's an agapantha asp.
Oh.
As you were.
I'm looking forward to
Poor thing. Oh, women, you tourists, you can't trust them.
You
They
can't.
tear.
You can't. He's probably very
Any
upset.
questions so far?
Yes, sir. What's this thing down here that reads Stardust Motel and Brothel?
That's a casino from Las Vegas. It's the prime example of how man is tearing up his environment. Absolutely destroying all things that are good and natural.
Litter?
Oh, this makes me mad. I just can't stand this. Please
All right.
do not do this anymore. But I'm glad you saw it.
Thank you.
Now, any questions? If there's no more questions, we'll go to the western half of the garden.
What?
Moving along to the west side.
Full.
Oh, well, this is incredible. I mean, there's
It
no
is. It's
doubt
full.
about it. It's
It's
just
full.
incredible.
Yeah, it is. I thought that these were empty, but they're full. He's got them just laying here.
Wow.
Well,
Look.
Yeah, look, it still works.
Uh-huh.
God, that's beautiful.
Oh, it's incredible. I mean, and to think that I'm related to him, I just, you know,
yes.
it's just
You
more
must
than-
be
it's
very
more-
proud.
Well, it's more than I.
I know.
Yeah, Bella, okay.
Oh, this is
We're
where
entering
the
into what I call the Serengeti Plain.
Oh,
Right here.
Serengeti.
Serengeti Plain. Watch over those wonderful dried grasses where animals used to graze. No longer are the animals here anymore because of the hunters.
Are these
Please
remains from
don't
the
touch the
buffalo?
fauna, lady.
The buffalo?
Oh,
Are these
the
buffalo
church, you're tearing up
chips?
my garden.
Are these buffalo chips along here?
Yes, or maybe marks of dinosaurs in distant past. We've never
Chips
discovered.
of some sort.
Yeah, some kind of chips.
I like this over here. This is a new.
Oh, yes, that's
Now,
nice.
you got to explain this here. I hope the camera photographer will come in for a close-up of this. I'd
Yes,
like
that
to see.
deserves an explanation.
There's a very simple explanation for that. As all people know, no one can be perfect constantly. This is my one failure. This plant came from the slopes of Kilimanjaro. And I worked with this poor thing for years, and it never would grow. I'm sorry you found my failure, but being human, we all have our
Well,
we all
it's the
have our
altitude, I
weaknesses.
imagine. It just needs to be up.
That's
Oh, I've tried it.
errare humanum est.
Whatever.
Don't get it on these two.
Oh, well, then we're going into the floral.
I join if you hold up, I don't want to miss the last That's the climbing agapanthus.
Oh, wait a minute. You went pretty fast by that. Would you mind pointing that out?
The climbing agapanthus?
Yes.
Oh, by all means.
Very fragrant. Lovely.
Climb a little part. Oh, I disturbed the cobweb. Oh, I'm so sorry.
It must have just the right amount of sun. I'm sure you planted it there just for that reason.
Absolutely, the angle of the sun in the afternoon is just exactly
the right amount of time. I know it's very critical. You have to have the right amount in order for
This is interesting here. This is holly agapanthus.
Holly
Looks like
agapanthus?
it's
Would you
been
point that out? Oh, right
Yes,
there.
oh, of course we take good care of our little children. I'd like to kind of let it,
Oh, here comes another
see what
expert.
nature does left to her own devices. Is that it? Young man, you're the only one in this whole tour that gathered, that ascertained the true meaning of this.
Well, I'm a natural. I can see what you've done here, and it hasn't been easy to refrain from disturbing.
Well, shake your
Nothing
hand.
like that.
The rest of these people did not understand the scope of the matter.
You and I have not in common. I saw it automatically.
True perception is
Very
rare.
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 Oh,
Rare these days.
I spotted it right.
Young man, you stay with the group. I need you.
Oh, I see somebody's been meddling with the holly.
That's holly agapanthus.
Don't forget to explain the grass. Those grasses here are really something.
Oh, they're natural
You bring
Serengeti.
those from Oklahoma?
No, they're Serengeti Plain in Africa.
From those grasses?
Yeah, they're
You
Serengeti
don't
Plain.
have anything from your roots in Oklahoma. I would
I have seen grasses.
something from.
I have seen grasses like that on the plains of the Pampas.
Could be this ladder. It looks
I
like.
think they're closely related.
They might
There's
be.
lots of argument among experts on that.
Is that
The
right?
true, the true theory there has never been fully explained. Which is correct, the Pampas or the Serengeti?
Looks like one of the fescues here in Scotland.
It's a Serengeti fescue. Or maybe
That's
even
a new one on me, sir.
it could be a Pampas fescue.
Not to be confused with the Pampas, you know what.
Yeah, definitely.
This is interesting. These little bulbs. I know those are.
Well, you've all heard the yellow jonquil and how they bloom in the spring. I just threw in a common flower just to keep it within the realm of appreciation of the common man.
Would you point that out right there?
Which is a
Yes.
little to be.
Growing out from rocks is rare. You rarely see that growing out from gravel.
Oh, this is interesting. I'm sure you
Oh,
have
this-
something exciting in there.
There's something I just have never seen in my life.
Oh, that's wonderful.
There is something I've never seen in my life.
Be used by
Japanese
cats
maple.
and dogs alike.
Japanese stunted maple.
Interesting.
Isn't that interesting?
Normally, these trees only grow this tall. But through secret cultivation and fertilization, you will note the height that this has reached in a scant 14 years. This tree, you're right in the sun, has not been touched in 14 years, as this whole garden.
It's incredible, really. And this is where you get fertilizer.
What is this? We don't
My
understand.
compost
Your
pile.
compost.
A simple compost pile.
It's been a great test of your willpower to keep from getting out here with a spade and
Oh, yes. Young man, you certainly have a knack of hitting the nail right on the head.
Is that the common garden variety compost?
Well, it's composted from the 7 continents of the United States.
I see.
Naturally, I couldn't grow anything like this with common compost.
I see. All right.
But
Looks like you
I
might have a
strive.
few.
It's been lots of work, but
you can see
you
Looks
have
like you have a
no
few neighbors that
conception of
have
how much
that
I
might
appreciate the
enjoy that.
appreciation you have shown me for this wonderful natural
Oh, that's
garden that I have
that's
given my life to.
Well, I regret I missed the first part of it.
Oh,
I'm looking at this and it's so unusual. Well, what is that?
Would you read that, please?
It says Japanese are Rilio, but
It's really
down here it
agapanthus.
says Fatsia japonica. Fatsia
It's really a
japonica.
Japanese
Well done.
agapanthus, isn't it?
Well done.
But is that not the Japanese?
Got a creativity to it.
Would you, are you getting a close-up?
Well, the rhythm,
I will
you
trim
know,
this
the
plant
rhythm
so
and the
you
movement of-
get your
all
hand
around.
out. Do not break. Don't touch my plant. Here, watch this. I'll give you a
That-
full
that
view.
man
I'll
is
turn this
obviously
around.
allergic to water, and some knothead has watered it, I expect.
But is that the Japanese agapantha or not?
Is that
It is a Japanese agapanthus.
Oh,
isn't
of course.
Yeah.
Japonica agapantha.
All right.
Have you got this?
I have
Did you get all the
learned so
leaves?
much
I think I got
I
most.
have
Of,
too. I've just learned
I
so
think I
much.
got most of the
Fine.
nuances there.
Do you have?
Enough?
You got
Do you have a
Unusual.
syllabus of this? I mean, notes. I forgot to take notes.
Oh,
I mean, do you have
no.
this written down anyplace?
There's pamphlets with everything explained, which I will
Oh,
give you
good,
at the end of the tour if the
good.
tip is big enough.
I hope it's not too technical.
Yeah.
The tip has to be big enough before I give away the pamphlets.
Did you notice this?
Here is the machinery we use, machine shed.
It's not working, of course.
Well, it's kept in a natural state too. We didn't want a bright yellow machine out there, so we cover it with leaves so it blends with the environment. Notice how the leaves have collected on that over the years. You would never have noticed it had I not called your attention to it.
I know.
Okay. Natural camouflage.
You seen a purple agapantha?
The purple agapantha. Let me get
Purple
a close-up of
agapantha.
that.
Oh,
Got a close-up of
there's a
that?
Oh,
close
I
shot.
did.
Oh, that is.
I have
That is
now.
Pretty.
Now I have saved the best to last.
What, this?
The best for last. When a hush to fall on this crowd. You will see as we approach to the left an avocado tree, a common avocado
Do you
tree.
mind if I move in a little bit?
Come in, young man, because you do
I
appreciate
don't
it.
hear too much.
Oh, that's all right. If you have any questions, I'll repeat it for
A
you.
real avocado.
We have avocado tree grown from an avocado seed,
A seed.
Oh, my
and you will
word.
notice there are 2 avocados on it.
Where?
Where are
That
they?
tree
Where
is
can they
15
be?
years
I
old,
see
and you're
one.
witnessing the birth
I see
of the
one
first
right
fruitful
Is this produced?
avocado tree.
I don't.
Here, here.
I knew you wouldn't see it.
Look.
Let me point it out.
Is that the agapantha avocado?
Of course.
Where? There's one. There's one right there.
Oh,
No, I thought he was lying. You weren't lying, were you? There's one. There's one right there.
Would I lie? Would I lie?
No. I didn't mean to insult you.
Oh, and here's the other.
Do you
Here's
think
the
you could
other.
possibly capture this
getting close
Right
to
up
the
here.
sun.
See this? Right here.
Ah.
Oh, see there? Right there. Right there. Now,
When
those
is your harvest?
Ah.
When do you have your harvest? I think we
In
should all...
about a month.
Month. Oh, I want to be here for that avocado harvest.
This
I mean,
is where
that's-
we
that's-
enjoy cooking outdoors in our natural state. Notice the sun, it never bothers us. Natural shade,
nice.
no matter where you are.
As you fade off into the great wilds. That's wonderful.
Beautiful.
Sunset Magazine has done this trip many times.
I bet.
They always include me in their spring issue. Patios like this you'll find all over California inspired by this one.
Oh, I bet.
Isn't that amazing?
And I think
we're going to have
That's
to move out
amazing.
here.
I think
I
on
mean, I'm
this
not
note-
living.
That's right.
I'm just not living in
I'm going to
Missouri.
move from
Yeah.
Ohio if I
Uh-huh.
could get this type of thing,
Oh,
but I don't
definitely.
frankly
Well,
think
but I
that there's
don't-
this much around the way he...
I've taken lots of tours through here, lots of tourists, but never have I found mouthier ones than you two.
Well, I wonder, you know.
But is that,
yours?
but is that not the true reward of years and years of gardening, to be able to enjoy it just for yourself? And that was your original purpose, wasn't it?
Of course it was my original purpose. And then, and as I grew older and my hair turned gray, I decided to share it with the public.
Well, Ken, you share with us your thoughts when you first saw this avocado start to...
Oh, my.
Just like a newborn child. Oh, I've been looking out there for 14 years, and just 2 weeks ago I looked up there and spied baby green up there, hanging there on the limb, and I knew all of my work was finally rewarded. Needless to say, it was a lovely moment, and I must admit I shed a tear.
Oh, I can imagine. And you probably opened a bottle of something or other.
Always remember me as I fade away and we discontinue this lovely travelogue, and I will close the jungle curtain on the Creator.
Yes, that is.
Bravo! Well, all right, so we welcome everybody into this occasion of Sherry and my wedding. It came about because I took her to lunch a couple of times and wound up in the church. So she insisted that we have a large church wedding, and she wanted to know if I didn't have a few relatives to invite. And I thought for a long time, and finally I came up with a list of several, which happen to be in this room right now. And while we're here, I thought we might pan the camera around and get a few off-the-cuff enthusiastic comments of what their impression was of the last several days. Some of us haven't seen each other in 40 years. I can't say that we're terribly enthused about seeing each other, but let's get some of their reaction. So, Herbert, let's see, who wants to be first? Let's kind of make this a volunteer basis. Nancy, do you have any comments to make on this wonderful occasion?
I'd really rather have been in Philadelphia.
Would rather have been in Philadelphia.
So,
Yes, I can understand that. Pfeiffer, you got anything to say on this? You came a long way from Ohio. This is Bill Pfeiffer, incidentally.
Jim called me, and this is sort of an innocent beginning. He said, I'm getting married, and I said, well, congratulations, you know. And Jim said, would you like to be my best man? And I said, are you going to pay for the trip? And I didn't get any reaction whatsoever.
Silence on the phone.
There was a little silence, and then I said, when is it? And then he names the date, and I said, it was in such a state of shock, I said, I'll call you back. And then I went upstairs and I said, Betty, we have a little situation going on in California. A cousin's getting married. She said, Jim's getting married? And I said, yes. Would you like to go? And she said, not particularly. And then, in that particular case, I said, he's already selected his best man. And she said, who? And I said, guess who? She says, I'll go with you to California. And that's the way it all started. And then when we got in touch with her daughter, told that to her daughter, Janice, she said, I don't believe my father would ever go through anything like this. However, I will come. Which really disappointed Betty and me, but anyway, that's another story. And so that's the way we ended up out here, and later on I'll tell you my reactions as to what happened after we got here and what have you, and after the wedding.
Would you say things have been going downhill ever since?
Yes, Jim said that the goose hung high, and yesterday afternoon when we were so tired and having our last drink at the bar and retiring to the hotel, I told Jim, I says, the goose not only is at half-mast, but it's about a quarter way off the ground. So this afternoon we're going to get rid of the goose.
All right.
The goose has died.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody agree with that? There's the king of the we have kind of an expression in this family, when no one shows much enthusiasm. King of the toads, sitting over here on looking at him. I don't know, he came down from Sawyer, and I just wonder if you'd like to make a comment, try to think of something positive to say over this gay occasion. Or not gay occasion, I mean happy occasion, by all means.
Well, we're doing our best, remember that.
Well, I know, but I'm a little disappointed in Pfeiffer's comments. I thought he'd be honored to be my best man. But anyway, my Uncle Bill Oden up there.
Well, I'm happy to make my comments. They won't be very comical, but they'll be on the more serious side. But needless to say, we've all had a great time, and I, being almost the most senior in the crowd, I can speak from an older aspect, and that it's nice that the younger ones in the group can look back on this, and we're all brought together again to renew our own family relationships. And I'm sure that in the future, the younger ones, some of us won't be here, but I think in the Oden and Sheets clan that they'll look back and the younger ones and say, was that before or after Jim and Sherry got married?
Have you met anyone you liked at this
Not
occasion?
particularly. I'm known as the toad. I sit around and blink a lot and hop some. But if forced to, I can be sociable.
I thought you might.
Into the spirit.
I thought you might enjoy seeing people you haven't seen years. You had no.
That's been a pleasure.
It has
It's been
been.
a pleasure.
Well, let's try not to be overcome by enthusiasm and emotion.
You can see why they call me the toad.
Yes, I see that.
Well, I have two daughters who came from one coast to the other, from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean for this occasion. And surely they might have something to say about this. You do? Well, this is my youngest daughter, Susan.
Susan. Well, Dad called me and said, I have some really good news for you. And I said, what's that? He said, I'm getting married. And all I could say is, again. And he said, yes, again. And I'd like you to come out. And he said, you'll see relatives out there that you haven't seen in a while. And I said, all right, I mean, you paid for it. I guess it's the least I can do. That's about it.
Let's see.
I'm having a jolly time.
Well, that's great. It must be particularly joyful and a lot of fun for you younger people.
Oh, I haven't stopped laughing.
Yes, I can see that. All right. Now.
I think that was a little facetious when you said, I haven't seen you smile since you've been here.
I know.
That's the nearest thing
I'm
to a
trying.
smile
I'm
you've
trying.
given on this tape. It's the nearest thing to a smile since you've been here that you just had it. Anyway, I hope you had a good time.
It's been great.
Well, now then I have an older daughter. Forget about this. I thought maybe she might have a little something to add, a little bright glimmer of enthusiasm.
Well, I haven't gotten a lot of sleep since I've been here, but I think that. Can I go to the bathroom?
Well, I guess another one left. I don't know, I'm a little disappointed in her reaction. I don't know about my Aunt Ruth. She's always been a loyal. Anything I ever did, she stood behind me 100%, and I surely thought my Aunt Ruth would come here and have a nice time, but she hasn't said much, hardly spoken a word since she's been here. But did you have any comments to make, Aunt Ruth?
No, I thought it was kind of dumb for you to do all this.
Would you say that again one more time?
Why?
Well, the camera wasn't on you. We want that on.
Okay. I said I thought it was kind of dumb you getting married again, but
Yeah.
if you want to, it's your business. That's just the way I look at it. I spent my money. I wanted to see you all, and I like what you got.
Oh, you do? Well, I'm glad to hear that. That's good. That's good to hear. I mean, that's kind of a
That's all
step
I
in the
can
right
say.
direction.
And that's all I said. I've enjoyed your daughters. They're sweet.
This is moving right along.
I've enjoyed your daughter. I wonder if she'd like to make a comment.
Well, I'm sure
I mean, I
she
haven't
would.
seen much of her. She's hardly spoken
No,
a
she
word
doesn't
since she's
say
been
it.
here.
She's very camera shy.
Here she
She might.
comes. This is my cousin Betty Logan.
You want to drink water or something?
I thought maybe she might have
Yeah,
something. Betty, don't you have something to say about my wedding? Yeah.
Oh, you know, Jim, you've seen one, you've seen them all. Would you like a drink of water or something?
No, thank you.
Anybody else? I'd be glad to get you a drink
Well,
of
I
water.
thought we might get back on this tape. I'd like to have some reaction on this from somebody. Did anybody have a good time? Betty, surely.
What time does the
Betty
news come
Pfeiffer,
on?
have you got anything to comment about my getting married?
Oh, I had a wonderful time. Nothing ever happens in Dayton. This is really something.
It really is. Well, would you elaborate? Because God knows no one said a very kind word yet.
Oh, really?
I'm getting a little discouraged.
Are you saying that after Dayton, everything is downhill?
No, everything's uphill.
I see.
Everything's uphill.
I kind of agree with Nancy. I think Philadelphia sounds kind of good to me.
Susan, did you want to go to that movie? Another movie?
Another
Did
movie.
you find out? You wanted to
Well, I
see
tell you,
another
we've heard quite a bit from these people. I'm a little disappointed. That's about what I expected, however.
Okay.
I didn't expect them to really enjoy it, but I thought at least we would get together, and I just wondered, have we met any of our own relatives that we'd like this trip? Are you ready to go back to the motel, honey?
Yeah. Yeah. It's got your purse.
Yeah, you get your purse.
Do you think, let's ask the bride, for heaven's sake. Surely she enjoyed this trip.
I'm getting a little thirsty. I gotta have a drink. You want a drink?
This is the woman I have fallen in love with,
Have you got any beer in it?
would you quiet down? I'm trying to do my little wedding skit here. But would you have anything to say, honey, that, for
Oh,
this
I
tape,
gotta get that movie.
it's a memorable tape. Please don't laugh about it. It's a serious thing.
I know. And I've been really crushed about the way your family has accepted me.
They're kind of a bunch of bastards, aren't they?
Yes, and I think if they'd all go right back where they came from, I'd just be so much happier.
Oh, darling, sorry, I haven't brought any of the beasts. Please, please, look on the bright side.
I want a divorce!
How about Herbert, the camera?
Oh, yes, I've fallen in love, and that's why I want the divorce.
Oh, darling, this whole thing has gotten out of control. I want the camera to stop. You again, will you come back?
Sure. Let us know.
Come on, gang.
Thanks.
Don't leave.
Bye-bye.
Oh, come on.
Elsie!
Come on back.
Where's Elsie? She gone.
Were you going to serve food later?
No food. There goes the cameraman.
You want us to close the door or leave it open?
Oh, I'll close the door, but the party's not over yet.
Oh, I'll come back.
We're going to always come back here and there.
I can tell the joke.
You got any popcorn?
I love popcorn.
Oh, great. I get one.
Popcorn.
How much longer can it be?
My wife can pop popcorn. She's from Iowa.
How long does this go on anyway?
Oh, popcorn. Wonderful. They came back.
Yeah.
Honey.
Frenzy number 9.
And I'll go to Philadelphia.
I'll just sit here and
Okay.
I was thinking like somebody's like East Oakland or Richmond. That would maybe have even been better.
Quiet on the set.
This is
You guys ready for this?
Cameras are rolling.
ready. Ishine, Sonse, Sache Ache, Kuju, Boya Kache.
Wonderful.
Your luck has changed. No, your luck has been completely changed today, which could be unfortunate. I had great luck today. I don't know if that means. No, my luck has changed.
For better or for
It
worse?
doesn't say. It does not say.
How do you
Leave it
think
open-ended.
it does affect you? You say you've been fortunate today in what way?
Well, I've been fortunate.
You've certainly eaten enough.
I've been well fed, and I've had the pleasure of all these toads, and I've just had a wonderful time.
The environment was just delightful, right?
It was. I had a great brunch.
You got to kiss a lot of princes to find a toad.
I'll vouch for that. I'll vouch for that.
Okay,
Not
may I
much.
be excused?
I would like to raise one question. Is it bad form or good form to eat the cookie after you?
You have to.
You have to eat it. To make
That's
it
what she
come
said.
back.
Are you ready for this one? This says, he likes to flirt, but toward you, his intentions are honorable.
Oh, what a relief!
They hit the nail on the
They
head.
never have
I
been,
think
I don't know why. If you would be loved, and be lovable.
That's maudlin.
Hurry up and eat the cookie. Make it come
Yeah, hurry up, yeah.
Time is right to make new friends.
We forget again.
Like I worried this morning in bed from 4 till getting up time.
Worried about it, right?
Got up there too much, told last night they'll never speak to me. What am I supposed to do?
Read it
again.
I missed it the first time.
The time is right to make new friends.
Well, I think you did. I think that's
True.
pretty
Yeah.
Started working on
He
it.
made enough new friends yesterday.
I was going to misinterpret this and give it some Latin phrases.
You were gonna make new
Well, give us
friends.
a
Is that what
Latin
it said?
Well, I
You
was
didn't say make new friends.
Why don't you recite the little poetry that you recited this afternoon?
Oh,
That just, well, all right. How about translated?
I hate the vulgar crowd.
I bet you gave me a good one. What's your relation with other people? Carefully be what? Reserved. Carefully be reserved.
Watch your relations with other people, be reserved, yeah.
Well, that's you, Aunt Ruth.
Really?
What there?
She does watch her relations carefully. I can vouch for that. I really can.
Would you care to say a few words about the benefits of calcium in milk while you're want to sell a little milk while you're there? I did say that. I really did.
Well, Amy always calls me Betty Crocker. See, happy event will take place shortly in your home.
Oh, we're coming to see you.
Something you're not telling us.
Listen to that, Betty.
This
Well,
announcement.
no, it's only Amy left. That's great.
Right?
That's right. There you go. Well, I got Brooke.
What's going to stutter?
You want to trade for
I
another?
got Brooke. Yeah, a happy event will take place shortly in your
Well, we'll
home.
give her
Okay. Absence, sharpness, love, presence, strength. Absence, sharpness, love, presence, strength. Yeah.
Abstinence?
Absence. Yeah. And a happy event will shortly take place in your home. Absence sharpens love, presence strengthens it. That's it.
Yeah, that's very
Yeah, that's
appropriate.
true. Yeah, that's like, yeah.
Exact cookie.
That's right.
Right.
That's great.
You'll see a bigger batch of ham.
Oh, I'll have to
I have to quote that to Chuck when I get off.
That's right.
Okay.
They're bashful.
Just trust relatives who ask special favors.
So you being a best man.
I think you made that up.
I did. I lied. But I wanted to get it in before I left.
And you wanted it recorded.
But this,
What's the real one?
it says, but this is worse. Stick to things as they are and distrust novelties. There'll be no novelties tonight.
Oh, Betty, I'm so sorry.
Do I have to eat this thing?
Yes.
Good.
They're good. They are good. I'm gonna put curls on
That
your
last
head.
one would apply to me.
I know you didn't look. I didn't look, but it's open. Let's see what it says.
The time is right to make new friends.
that's not bad.
We have an extra one.
You and you.
What's the move?
Oh, I don't need any new friends.
Here.
Got plenty of them.
Oh, you shouldn't have the same one.
We have to-
I knew there was a reason I over-ordered these.
Did that help?
Well, they're not here. Now, what's this one say?
Happy event to take place.
Yeah.
Oh. You may attend a party where strange customs prevail.
You're here. You're here.
It's a party for 3 days now.
You'll be on camera for this, too.
Oh, this it's the same one as we've had before, and it's the same one that
Or nothing.
Elsie read about you. And I agree, he likes to flirt, but toward you, his intentions are honorable. See?
Yeah.
So it's an inherited trait.
Oh, Jim, I like in so many
Oh, that's
respects.
right.
That's what worries me. I don't know whether I should eat a cookie or not.
Well, I keep his intentions honorable, so I
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I agree. They were honorable. I mean, I think they're Herberts.
I think we're running out of originals. Let's see. You will have a very pleasant experience. So true, so true. There's not any way to enlarge on that. I can't.
Not getting maudlin about it either.
That kind of says it all.
It's not really
This
necessary.
past 3 days has proven that to be true. So that concludes the
Except for her.
And the answer is, a man is known by his deeds. Hang on to your ideas.
enlarge on that.
I hate those deep ones.
You're the only one that can handle that the best. Enlarge on that a little.
You know, I would like to have a little more discussion on the matter of whether or not it's lunch pail to eat the fortune cookie. You came up with it from somebody.
Jim did.
I read that somewhere.
That's what I thought.
What, that you should eat it?
It's okay to read them, to get the message and read it, but if you eat the fortune cookie, it's distinctly lunch pail.
I haven't eaten one for years.
Yeah, what is that?
You know,
What is lunch pail? That's your
lower
fancy
middle class.
Okay, you'll have to explain lunch pail.
So crunch, crunch.
I've never said a country.
I give them the dog.
I was sure that if you didn't even, that you had to eat at least a bite or it wouldn't come through.
I see what
Yeah,
you're
I mean, when she dated the Chinaman.
I learned not only that bit of fortune cookie lore from your father, but also the expression lunch pail.
Well,
You've learned an awful lot from me, Herbert.
I have learned a lot from that man.
I'm glad you're giving me public credit for
I
that.
am giving you all the credit that you
But they don't understand what it
deserve and then
means.
some.
What does lunch pail mean?